When you're facing housing insecurity, the last thing you need is a maze of government agencies. But that is exactly what you get. There is no single generic program called affordable housing. Instead, there is a massive system strictly divided by two things: your demographic profile and how much time you have before you lose your home. Applying for the wrong housing program means you end up wasting the most critical resource you have: time. The most common mistake people make is trying to use a long-term subsidized housing application to solve a short-term, immediate eviction crisis. To map your housing goal, the first step is timeline triage. You must separate immediate emergencies from long-term planning. If you have time for long-term affordability, the path fractures again based on specific demographic criteria, like being over 50 or having a disability. Surviving the system requires matching your personal timeline and demographic to the correct bureaucratic lane. Let's look at how to pick the right path. Let's start with Path A, the immediate crisis. The housing system defines an acute crisis very specifically. Usually, it means you are holding an active eviction notice or facing an imminent utility shutoff. To qualify for emergency interventions, you have to prove your household income falls below 80. But here is the catch with these agencies. They require you to be operating in a state of high-stress legal or financial jeopardy just to get through their doors. Emergency aid provides a vital, rapid reset to keep a roof over your head today. However, it does absolutely nothing to lower your monthly rent burden going forward. Path B shifts to long-term affordability. This route is primarily designed for seniors aged 50, 55, or 62 and older who rely heavily on fixed retirement benefits. The main financial mechanism here is a direct subsidy. If you secure one of these apartments, your rent is legally capped at exactly 30% of your income. This data table shows the strict income ceilings governing eligibility for these subsidized properties. For a one-person household, your maximum income cannot exceed $53,200. Finding an open unit is complicated by a fragmented management landscape. You cannot just submit one application to the Rochester Housing Authority. You have to apply individually to multiple private property groups, like Providence Housing or Conifer. These private groups manage a wide variety of facilities, ranging from standard independent apartments to high-rise enriched housing programs that offer extra supportive services. Getting on a list is just the beginning. The application process requires grueling effort, including constant follow-up calls and repeated income verification just to keep your file active on their rosters. This system also inherently limits your choices. When your name finally comes up, you have to accept living in the specific complex where that unit opened, regardless of the neighborhood. The reward is permanent financial stability. The cost of admission is enduring waitlists that span months to years and surrendering your geographic preference. Pack C covers specialized independent living programs designed specifically for non-elderly individuals with qualifying disabilities. The Rochester Housing Authority manages non-elderly disabled, or NED, and mainstream vouchers for this exact demographic. The primary advantage of these specific vouchers is freedom. They allow the holder to secure housing in the private market, rather than being restricted to designated public housing towers. But there is a severe inventory shortage. Once someone secures one of these specialized vouchers, they rarely give it up. That extreme scarcity creates incredibly static, slow-moving waitlists that are difficult to track. Navigating this specific system alone is nearly impossible. You need external case management to handle the paperwork and monitor the lists. Advocacy groups like the Resource Center for Independent Living help applicants manage this process, especially when transitioning out of nursing homes or assisted living facilities into independent housing. Mainstream and NED vouchers offer the highest level of independence and flexibility, but securing one requires persistent, long-term institutional advocacy to force the system to accommodate your rights. The housing assistance system functions properly only when you align your personal reality with the correct bureaucratic lane. If you are a crisis renter, stop looking at subsidized waitlists. Dial 211, contact Catholic Charities, and show up to City Court. For the senior demographic, treat applying to properties like Cobbs Hill or Danforth Towers as a part-time job. Apply long before your savings are depleted. For individuals with disabilities, do not navigate the Housing Authority waitlists alone. Enlist professional advocates like RCIL to secure independent living resources. Application fatigue is real. Investing your limited energy into the wrong column guarantees failure. An objective, clear-eyed evaluation of your timeline is your greatest defense against housing insecurity. Choose your path based on your reality, not the marketing promises of affordable housing.